Hey, computer applications class. So last week we were doing a little review, and I asked a question about relationships and databases, and not many of you seem to know what I was talking about or could talk about it well. And that is going to be a part of your exam, so I thought we should review it a little bit so that you can talk about it well. And also, this is something that we would have spent time doing. I would have showed you how to create relationships and what a common field is. I would have taught you about this stuff if we were able to use Microsoft Access. But since we couldn't, I guess I never really stressed it much. And so I thought we would just talk about it a little bit. So something we had in our bakers table was we had our customers table and we had our orders table. And what again makes databases so amazing is how they are relational. So you got to remember that relational databases have those relationships that can be established. You can't do that with a spreadsheet application like you can with a database application. And so what you can see here is I have these two tables. The customers table would obviously have a customer ID, right? So their ID number would all be here. If you had 50 customers, you'd have 50 ID numbers, 50 names, etc., whatever other information you want to have. And then you might have an orders table if you are selling something or something. And so in that orders table, you would obviously have your order number, but then you'd have a customer number. And that number, or a customer ID number, that could then be connected to the ID number in the customers table. And so this is a way that you can draw those connections, right? So this would be called a common field. The common field between table 1 and table 2, or the customers table and the orders table, would be the customer ID. And so you could draw that. It's called connecting it by establishing a relationship between these two tables would be this field. So it's the common field, the ID, the customer ID field. And so when you have those connected, then you can do lots of different things. One thing you can do is you can create a query that uses information from both tables. A query is something that asks a question of the database, right? So you could ask a question, say, which orders were between January 5th and March 5th, but then you would also maybe want the name of the customer, which isn't in the orders table, but because it's connected, you could have the name of the customer show up in your query because it would be taking information from two tables. So then you call that a multi-table query. Or you can do the same thing with a report. You could have a report take information from multiple tables if those tables have that relationship set up. And I found another really neat video too. It's about the same length, 4 or 5 minutes long, where he shows you with database stuff how you can connect the tables together. So I think between this video and the other video, I think you'll be able to write a nice essay. Follow the directions well and the rubric, and aim for a good A grade, A quality writing. So thanks. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.